Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn how to get some big biceps. Everybody wants huge arms, and everyone wants to show off the guns. Now I'm going to tell you that there are three main or most important biceps exercises that you should be doing to get the most jacked arms you can. Also, I'm going to explain the three worst exercises that you should avoid. We are going to keep things simple so everybody can understand and not make it complicated, leaving you more confused. So, let's begin. The first one. The most important bicep exercise you should be doing to get the big arms that you want is the standing bicep curl, but you're adding a little bit of cheat during the execution of the exercise. Now let me clear what I mean with cheat. I don't mean you cheat right away, but I mean you need to cheat a little bit in order to get more reps at the end of the set in order to increase intensity and volume of the exercise, which are the required to stimulate muscle growth. In fact, adding a little bit of cheat allow yourself to lift a little bit heavier. If you go super strict with your form, you're gonna fatigue before you can really go to failure or really push your arms to the point that they get that progressive overload. This advice is mostly applicable to intermediate advanced weightlifter. For beginners, it is more important to focus on proper form. Gains will come easier because you have just started training, so you don't need a huge stimulus to grow muscle. So, let me clear how to add cheat reps while performing standing biceps curl. So, you start strict bicep curl. Let's say you get up to 8 reps and you can't do it anymore. Now it's okay to add a little bit of a swing, no big deal. Do not bend backwards, because you're not doing limbo, and also you don't want to put unwanted and unnecessary pressure on your spine. You stand straight. You let your arms go a little bit behind the line of your hips and then move them forward again in order to get that swing, and use that extra power to help you curl the weights for another rep. So this is the most important exercise for your biceps, the only one required to grow them. Also, remember, if you're using a barbell, use a normal shoulder width grip, not a close one, because with a closer one you will get less biceps contraction and activation, and that is not what you are aiming for. So, use a normal grip, the one you feel comfortable. So, use this technique to get 2 or 3 more reps, pushing yourself nearly to failure. The second exercise you should use is the dumbbell curl, but with some adjustment. You have to start from a pronated going to a supinated position when you curl the weight. So, pronate is when your hand is down. Instead, supinate is when you can hold a cup on your hand. Let's make another example to make you understand it better. Bend your arm at 90 degrees like you are curling. Now look at the palm of your hand. When it is facing upwards, then the position is supinated. If the palm is facing downwards, then is pronated. So, now let's move to the execution of the exercise. You start with the weight on the side, and your hand is pronated, so the back of your hand is facing ahead, and as you curl up, you twist up your wrist to supinated. With this movement, your biceps automatically contracts, so as you do that, you're going to get more contraction of the bicep. Now, remember that the bicep is technically 2 muscles. It has 2 heads. And the triceps got 3 heads. So you want to work the entire bicep. So with the motion from pronated to supinated, you get to work the entire bicep. However, remember that the main thing you need to take care of during exercise in order to let your muscle grow is progressive overload and pushing hard. Sure, you might get a bit more gains if you do 7 different exercises, but the most important thing is to train hard. So you pick the right exercise, you do 10 to 20 working sets per week, per muscle, and you progressive overload. That is how you will achieve muscle growth. So, for your biceps, you can do them standing or seated, using dumbbell, barbell, or the curl bar. That doesn't matter as long as you train hard. Another great exercise you can incorporate in your routine is the preacher curl. It's great because it helps isolate the biceps, and you get a lot of contraction with it, especially when you reach the top of curl. Another nice exercise would be the leaning cable curl. So, now you have some great exercise to choose from. However, you must remember that you have to do 10 to 20 working sets per week and push hard, nearly to failure, especially for intermediate and advanced weightlifters. Now, let's move to the 3 worst exercise for your biceps. The third worst exercise for building jacked biceps are hammer grip curls. So, hammer is like you are hammering nails. Let's make it clear. Hammer curls are not a bad exercise, but they carry less biceps contraction and more forearm involvement. Personally, I use hammer curls at the end of a set of standing biceps curl in order to squeeze out some more reps, so I use it as an intensity technique to push myself after failure and get some more reps for my biceps. The second worst exercise is the reverse curl, because it involves a lot more your forearm than your bicep. So if you want to develop your forearms, then it's a great exercise. But if you use it to grow biceps, then it is not. The worst bicep exercise is every movement that involves any kind of row or pull. Yes, those exercises will work your biceps, but the main focus is your back. So, if you want, for example, after pull-ups you superset with a bicep curl in order to isolate more the biceps. That's ok. But if you think that only doing seated rows will make you have huge biceps, then you're wrong. You can train together back and biceps. It's a great workout, and it is a very common split. But it is very important that you start with back exercise because your arms are fresh. In fact, your arms will reach failure earlier than your back because arms are smaller muscle. So that's the reason why you should start with back exercise. Hope you liked the video and it was useful. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and share it with your friends.